It's important to mention one of the components of chemical reaction is energy in the form of heat. And so chemicals, in order for their bonds to break, so for a reaction we have to have bonds break, that requires energy. And then when new chemicals form and make new bonds, it actually releases energy. And so in every reaction, there's kind of an input and an output of energy. And we call that the heat of the reaction. So heat is a form of energy. And so that's the overall amount of heat that's released or absorbed. And the units for energy we learned in chapter 12, it's joules and calories. There's other units for energy, but in chemistry, those are the two that we use. And in our class, we're not doing calculations with energy, but it's important that we begin our understanding by using the definitions. So we have done calculations with energy before when we were calculating how much energy it needs to change temperature. And while that has the same energy, that's not the kind of equation we would use here. We're talking about energy that is required in chemical reactions, so when we're making something new. Now there's two classifications of reactions, and you'll need to know these definitions. There's exothermic and endothermic. For me, I look at the prefixes like exo, and I think to myself like exiting or leaving, or like they have in biology exoskeletons, like skeletons on the outside, so it's being, going out. And so exothermic reactions are ones where overall more energy is released. Okay, so if that's the situation, we think of that energy as being one of the products. So energy would be a product there. Endothermic, I think of endo. Now, how I think of it is not very scientific. Like when I say endo, it just sounds like the word in. So I think endothermic is when energy is going into a system. So an endothermic reaction, there's more energy being absorbed than released, so it requires energy. When we reacted magnesium ribbon with the oxygen in the air, we had to heat it up because that reaction required energy to progress. So that's endothermic because we're having to put energy in. So in endothermic reactions, energy or heat is absorbed, and in that situation, we treat heat like it was a reactant because it's required for the reaction to proceed. So for our class, again, just get familiar with these definitions of endothermic and exothermic.